What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
Once again, we're at it, answering questions from you guys in another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. And also, we are doing super thanks. So if you guys want to support the channel, send us over a super thanks with your question, and it is a guaranteed answer for the next episode.
That is exactly what Ryan Wood has done. His super thanks question is, do you think that the Necrons are ever going to regret becoming mortal in a world full of war? Giving up immortality and machine skin for flesh and blood seems like a really bad idea. Or would they have some other tech to make up for this loss?
I think two things are happening in that question. The first one is it's that whole the grass is always greener on the other side kind of argument, where the Necrons had very short mortality, right? And that's what it's called.
They basically had space cancer back when they were Necron tier, and they had very short lives, and they turned to the Catan to basically grant them immortality. Obviously, the Catan deceived them, and they are soulless Necrons in skeletal machine husks.
But it was they had a soul, got rid of it to become immortal, but now want to go back to having souls and being mortal. So again, I think if let's say they would somehow, then they would want to go back to being immortal, and then it's just a back and forth kind of situation. Yeah. The other aspect of this question kind of goes to the question, or the comment of it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. It's better to have had a soul, to experience pain, to experience space cancer, than never to experience anything at all, which is what they are right now. They're husks. They're just android. No, not even androids.
Not even androids. They're machines because they work off of protocols, at least the standard warrior. Obviously, the lords do have their personalities intact, some more so than others. But yeah, that is a huge factor in them trying to achieve what they lost.
Right.
Yeah, it is a tale of hopelessness, trying to get that which is always out of your reach. Will they do this? I don't think so.
No, if anything, they would have done it when the Silent King returned, because I thought that's what they were teasing. They were showing images of hieroglyphic Necron tier, basically. And I thought maybe they're gonna take the forms of humans,
which was kind of hinted at with the pariahs from editions past. Yeah. And they even had a whole storyline of the pariah nexus, but nothing really came of it.
Yeah. So no, probably not. And they're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Yeah, basically. They had their golden age, and I don't think they'll get it again.
Right. Yeah. And then, so thank you so much for the super thanks. We got another super thanks from Winter Bjork. No question, just simple for the WAAAGH. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks. On to the regular questions, and this one is by Jacob Greenlee. Based off of the Corax Primarch book, Guilliman and Corax got along. What do you think Guilliman would think of Corvus now? Would he be happy to see or speak to his brother, or would he be freaked out? I still think he'll be happy to see them. Obviously, these Primarchs are grander than most men, so I feel like the bonds they make do mean something. And that's what makes their tragedies so much more. Like we've seen with Ferris and Fulgrim, Sanguinius and Horus. But I think, Guilliman would definitely still like to see Corax, regardless of the state he's in currently.
I think that there's a show called Band of Brothers. It's an old show, and it kind of highlights that where in the beginning of the episodes, there's a lot of arguments between people, and then they go through war, come back, and meet each other. And even if they hated each other before because they both went through the same kind of trials and tribulations of war, they come back, and it's it doesn't matter that you were you were somebody I didn't like or somebody that I did like. We've been through stuff, so there's camaraderie there. So I think the same thing would happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Next question.
Terrell the Goat. What chapter has the strongest homeworld in regards to defenses?
Guilliman and his McCraig.
Because it's not even a homeworld, it's a whole sector of space, the Ultramar area. So.
They pushed away Tyranid Hive fleet.
Yeah.
Nobody has done that.
Chaos, they repelled it. The whole Godblight stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So for sure, Guilliman.
Yeah, it is definitely the plot armor of 40k.
Yeah.
You would think it's Terra, but no.
Well, I mean, I don't even think Terra is a thing.
Well, Terra's not a homeworld for a chapter, though.
Imperial Fists. Technically, the Fortress Monastery is there. Yeah. So maybe Imperial Fists, but I feel like Imperial Fists, and then the Ultramarines are cookie cutter in terms, or like they're poster boys kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
More so the Ultramarines because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between Imperial Fists and Ultramarines? Very little. Mm-hmm. But also a lot.
Yeah, honestly. Terrell the Goat continues on with another question saying, what would be the lowest number of Space Marines needed to conquer a planet? Let's put current day Earth as the lowest baseline for the planet's defenses. So I think you basically need like maybe a squad.
Yeah.
We've seen in video games such as Space Marine, it only takes like 3 Space Marines to get a planet, controlled. If it's a demon world, just a squad of Grey Knights. If it's a world like ours where we don't really have anything really to combat power armor and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Without literally creating like a climate that's unsuitable for life, probably just a single Space Marine.
Yeah, because that's the other key. Like a lot of people think like if it's just like a squad of 5 or a squad of 10 Space Marines, there's no way they can take over. What are we at? Like 7 million people? Mm-hmm. They're not killing every single person.
Exactly, yeah. They don't need to.
Yeah, no. That's not how war works. It's usually just like you defeat an army, which they can do really easily because, again, power armor and just fucking godlike physiques and weapons. And then, yeah, they're done.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the Astarte animation, which I'm pretty sure everybody has seen by now, you can see like the cultists or whatever using like auto guns and... I think they were even using like some type of like machine gun fire, and it was just bouncing off their armor.
Yep.
So it's like they don't even have to dodge or be sneaky or anything. They can literally just walk up to you, and that's it.
Yep. Next question comes from Luis Angel. What is your first language? This is referring to last week when I said English was my second language. My first language is Spanish. So I was born speaking Spanish. Now I learned Spanish, and then later on I learned English.
Yeah. Mine was definitely parcel tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I taught him a little bit.
Yeah. If you're a snake and you're watching, thanks for the super thanks. Next question.
Joseph McFadden. Would that be Nurgle if you don't do self-care?
Do what? I don't remember.
Because we were talking about like, the whole stigma of like nerds and wargamers are like smelly and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Because that stems off, like smelliness stems off of being unclean, but unclean is like, you're not supposed to be unclean because that's where bacteria and like all that kind of stuff, which is Nurgle. Mm-hmm. Rot, basically.
Yeah. It's funny because I was reading a post the other day about like this store manager that like didn't know how to approach a group of kids that were playing like Warhammer at his store that like smelled bad, to the point that you could smell them like 20 feet away, and when they left the smell lingered.
Yeah. If you get to that point, like, shame on you. I went to the gym the other day and there was a homeless man who was airing out his shoes because it had rained the night before. He probably like was walking in the rain and stuff. Half of the gym smelled like his feet because he had the blow dryer in the shoe. Oh. So it was like blowing in and out. Yeah. So yeah, just try to tell them to bathe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly the only thing you can do. Like take them. I wouldn't say do it in front of everybody. Take them aside and be like, "Hey,
you stink." But yeah.
The big one says, just before my dad disappeared, he beat the crap out of me. Was that his way of saying I love you with his belt?
Yes, it's kind of like in the beginning. The first episode of Afro Samurai, when the bad guy, I don't know his name, but he kills Afro Samurai's dad, and then he gives him the number 2 headband, and then he goes, "Come find me when you're ready to duel a god." That's love right there. Mm-hmm. Saying like, you're going to get through, what you need to get through so you can come back and test your skills against me. Also cocky because he thinks he's going to stay there. But
yeah. Watch him like the next guy he fights dies.
Yeah.
Both of them, actually. If it's the villain and he dies in his next fight, then like what's all that training for?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, your dad loves you. Go murder him.
Find him. The Senate asks, 40k, where everything is canon, and 40k, where nothing is canon.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of the cool /bad things about 40k, where they give you all this awesome lore and then they change it, and then they add to it, and then they take some stuff away. So it's like, what's canon, what's not? Who knows and who cares? We're here to have fun.
That's true. Yeah. I also think that it's better in the sense that, like, because we played X-Wing last week, and there was a sense of, like, it doesn't feel like you're playing Star Wars because you know the big epic battles in Star Wars. You know, like, the outcome of everything. Whereas in 40k, you don't really know the outcome of everything. You're not playing, well, unless you're playing Horus Heresy, but, like, normally you're not playing with an understanding of, like, this is gonna win. Like, this army has to win.
Yeah.
They don't.
Because Gilliman can be taken out by squats.
Yeah.
Not yet, because they haven't come out yet. But
Right. And they're Leagues of Voltan.
Yes.
Voltan?
Voltan. Well, it should be Voltan later on. Because it's not canon.
Right.
Yeah, when I was playing X-Wing the other day, it's like I was using Darth Vader, and I'm like, Vader is not doing anything. If this was legit, Vader would be mopping the floor.
Yeah. And then with Gilliman, if he gets a good hit, he will like fuck you up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
And then last question, you got one?
This one is by Shinku Kiritu Ichika. If somehow the Primaris Marines were made during the Great Crusade, let's say mainly on the Loyalist side, and were unleashed against the traitors during the Horus Heresy, how would it turn out?
If who?
So let's say if Primaris Marines came out during the Horus Heresy, and they were able to be mostly Loyalists, so they fought against Chaos.
Chaos is done.
Yeah. These Primaris Marines are faster, stronger, more tactical, better gear. They're a leg above the competition. Even with, like, the boons that these Chaos Marines are getting, I still think that the Primaris would be both more reinforcements and with better weaponry would take them out.
And Chaos lost.
Right, so it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. If anything, like, they might, during the Great Scouring, the Primaris would have probably, like, wrecked the Primarchs themselves, killed a bunch of Primarchs or something.
You think Primaris can kill Primarchs?
No, I'm saying, like, so it would have been the Firstborn and Primaris chasing, like, yeah. And also, Loyalist Primarchs are still there, because, so Loyalist against Loyalist, there'll be more battles.
Ooh, it would be interesting if a Primarch underwent a Primaris
upgrade.
But
they don't have Gene Seed.
Exactly. So Belisarius Call would have to do some, like,
wishy-washiness.
Yeah. But Call wouldn't be as... Well, no, because he started the whole Primaris thing during the Heresy, thanks to Gilliman.
He wouldn't have that many mechadendrites.
He wouldn't. He'd have, like, 3 less.
Yeah, 3 less. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. If we didn't get to your question, ask again. And remember, the super thanks are a way for you to get a guaranteed answer. Thank you so much for supporting the channel if you do give us a super thanks. Also, just by hitting that like button and talking to us in the comment section, it helps out the channel. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it's always fun to read your questions, and you really get the juices flowing.
Yes.
Yeah, as always, thank you, Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
And we are out.